Hi everybody, welcome back. Today's video is another quarterly video that I put up at the start of each new quarter of the year. So this is all about the makeup purchases that I have bought in quarter three. I'll run you through all of the purchases that I have made and also the cost of all of it as well. So quarter three, that is July, August and September. So looking at my phone here, that has my makeup purchases and also my makeup inventory spreadsheet on it. I didn't make any makeup purchases in July, so I was off to a good start. In August, however, I did make a few purchases. So the first purchase I made was for £27 and it is this House Labs concealer. Now this year I have been using my Merit Minimalistic as a concealer, but I felt like I needed something a bit better, something that was actually a concealer rather than a concealer slash foundation product. I wanted something that wasn't a cream, that was a liquid. So I was doing a lot of research about what concealer to go for because it's been a while since I've bought a concealer like this. My skin has changed, I've gotten more into my 30s, so my skin is a bit more dry now, and products like concealers can start to kind of gather, not feel as hydrating, can look a bit heavy. So after lots of research, the House Labs concealer was the one that seemed to kind of kept coming up. Had lots and lots of great reviews. So I did end up buying the House Labs concealer for £27. I think that is full retail cost. I don't think I was able to find this with a discount. However, I would pay full cost for this, full price for this, because this is a fantastic concealer. It has a doe foot applicator. The consistency of the concealer is neither too fluid nor too thick. It's really easy to work with, so you have a little bit of playtime. I don't leave this on my under eyes for a couple of minutes though, because it does set a little bit quickly for that. I kind of pop this on my under eyes, quickly run some clear brow gel through my brows, and then I blend this out, and it blends out beautifully. It doesn't cling to any dryness or any texture. It doesn't look really heavy or cakey, it doesn't feel really drying, it feels really lightweight. It's just a really nice concealer to use, it's a pleasure to use, it's really easy to use. I use this with a concealer brush actually. I did buy the Hourglass concealer brush. I usually use a sponge, but you do get more coverage with a brush. I don't usually like to use a concealer brush though, I just don't feel like they're that easy to use, but the Hourglass brush and this concealer are a beautiful pairing. This is also really good on blemishes as well. It does a good job of hiding your blemishes. I'm in the shade Light Neutral, number 11. I did, I think, decide my shade through Temptalia's foundation matrix, which is an excellent tool. I use that a lot when it comes to buying new shades of concealers or foundations. So overall, I am really happy with this purchase. I think this is a beautiful concealer. Okay, next purchase in August. This came to £39.15 and it is this supersize 200ml Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless setting spray. I had decluttered my setting spray, so I wanted to buy a new one. I did a lot of research on what are the best ones. I do really like Urban Decay All Nighter, but I wanted to see if any others were recommended. And lots of recommendations for this one, which I have used before, but it had been too long where my opinion of it, I couldn't really remember what I thought of it. So I thought, well, let's try it again. And I got the 200ml because it worked out to be the cheapest per mil. And I have used this most days since I bought it. I say most days because I don't wear makeup every day, but when I do wear makeup, I do use setting spray. And I probably use about 6 pumps, 6 sprays worth of this, but I'm only down to here. So this is going to take me ages to use up, which is great because for £39, that's a decent whack of money, but it looks like I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. And this is a really nice lightweight setting spray. It doesn't absolutely drench your face. You're not going to get a jet of setting spray. It's a nice sort of fine spray. I wouldn't say it's a mist, it is a spray, but it is still a nice fine dispersion of setting spray over your face. It doesn't sting my eyes at all. And it does a good job of keeping my makeup in place but without drying it out. And it says on the back, primes and sets for up to 16 hours, no melting, no fading, no creasing. And I would agree with all of that. So another purchase that I am really happy with. And then my last purchase in August, this came to £17.26. I had decluttered my MAC Mineralised Skin Finish powder because it was just too glowy of a powder for me. I don't want glow in my powder. I'm fine with glow in highlighter and blushes, but powder I want it to be matte basically, because I want it to reduce the shine in the middle of my face and also set my under eyes. So again, I did a lot of research. What are the best powders? Because again, I'm mid-30s, powders can be quite kind of drying as we get a little bit older and our skin type becomes a little bit more dry or dehydrated. And I didn't want a heavy powder that makes my face feel like the second I move it, it's gonna crack. So I went for this mini Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder ultra blur. So I have tried the original one that has the black lid, but this is the ultra blur one in the shade translucent, and I wanted a mini because I didn't want to commit to a full size powder and not like it. But also I have used up a full size one of these in the original version, and that took me forever. So I thought, well, even if I get the mini, that's still going to take a long time to use up. And the mini is 6 grams worth of product, and it is a lovely powder. It's lightweight, doesn't feel heavy or cakey or drying. It's really nicely finely milled, and I do agree with that kind of, I wouldn't say it's ultra blur because I feel like I do have to use a decent amount of this powder, maybe like a couple of layers, but it does have a blurring like effect to it. So on filming days I do need to remind myself that I have to go in with another layer of this because the ring light will pick up the shine that I have on my face. But it's a lovely powder. I really like this. I don't think it is better than the Givenchy Prisma Libre powder, which I don't know if they're going to bring back the original formulation of that. I hope they do. That's incredible. But this is also a really nice powder to use. So another product that I am happy with. Okay, then we move into September and we come across some products that I am not so happy with. Some that I am, but some that I'm not. So at the end of September, I saw a reel, I will try and put it up, from Lisa Eldridge doing Keira Knightley's makeup, and the eyeshadow that she used on Keira looked incredible, looked so beautiful, and I was influenced to buy it. So I did end up buying it, and I bought quite a few other products from Lisa Eldridge as well. I had a bit of a haul. There was a 20% off on Space NK, and it just seemed to align perfectly with me watching that reel, so I did buy a number of her products. I actually made 2 orders, but we'll talk about the first order. This came to £131.20, so I did spend quite a bit, and that was on the 28th of September. So let me run you through what those products are. So firstly, 2 products that I haven't used yet. This is a mascara. This is the Kitten Lash Mascara in the shade Burnt Umber, so a warm brown shade, and I knew that I wanted to use this as my next mascara. I've said this before, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I am very strict with mascaras. I write down the date that I open all of my makeup, and then I write down how many months you have until it kind of expires, I suppose, and then I write down that date as well on my spreadsheet. Mascara is the only product that I am super strict with those dates. The rest I just use as like a guideline, a rough guideline. But my current mascara, which is the Lancome Lash Idole mascara, I need to throw that away on the 1st of November, I think. So I bought this in that order as my next mascara to use. I have wanted to use this mascara since she came out with it in a brown. So I just thought, let's add that to my shopping cart, and then I have a mascara ready for when the Lancome one gets put in the bin. So Kitten Lash Mascara in the shade Burnt Umber, a warm brown mascara, but like I say, I haven't used it yet, so I cannot give you an opinion. But once I do, of course, I will share that. The next product is another one that I haven't used yet. Now, the reason that I haven't used this yet is because I'm working on using up the Say Mini Glowy Super Gel. Once I've used that up, I will use this, which is the Elevated Glow, the Seamless Skin Elevated Glow Liquid Highlighter in the shade Crystal Nebula, which is the shade sort of best for light skin tones, but this is still warm. It is, I think, a light champagne shade. I'm not going to open this, but I think it has a doe foot applicator, so you can swipe it on your face or put it on your hand, pick it up with your fingers and apply it. but I'm intrigued to use this. But like I say, I'm working on using up the Stay one, so I haven't tried this one yet, and again, I don't have an opinion, but of course I will share it when I do. And then the other product, which I have used, and I have some smudged on my outer lash line, is an eyeliner pencil. This is the Seamless Glide eye pencil in the shade Burnt Umber. It's so creamy, really nice, rich, warm brown shade. And although I'm not much of an eyeliner person, I do think it is handy to have a brown in my collection because I can smudge it like I've done today. I can tight line with it. I like how my eyes look when I wear it in my waterline. And yeah, I just think it's handy just to have one. I'm not necessarily going to wear it as a line on my lash line. I think I'm more just going to smudge out or waterline or tight line with it. But this is lovely, really creamy. You didn't see me draw that on my hand, but let me just... super creamy. It really does glide on seamlessly. You have to apply such minimal pressure, oh look at the state of that, on your eyes, so you don't have to like drag it or rub it. So comparing this to say like the MAC eyeliners, they are a lot more firm, a lot more drier in texture. This is really creamy, but it means that you can smudge it out, but it also doesn't transfer and it does last as well. These are often compared as well to the Victoria Beckham eyeliners, and I can see why. They're very, very similar in texture and consistency. So a purchase that I am glad that I have made. That is a lovely, lovely product, and I am intrigued to try these two. Now the rest of that order I don't currently have. I returned them all. I bought 4 of the Liquid Lyrics eyeshadows, which are the glittery, shimmery liquid eyeshadows that she does. And these were the products that made me want to initially place this Lisa Eldridge haul, because like I say, I saw that reel of Keira Knightley getting her makeup done, and I looked at what the eyeshadow was, and it was the Liquid Lyrics in the shade Anais. So like I do when I buy any makeup, I do a lot of research. So I looked at loads of reels, loads of YouTube videos, loads of TikToks, loads of pictures of swatches, people applying them, reviews, trying to get as much information as I can about these products before I placed any order. Now I knew I wanted Anais because of the colour. That was the one that I thought, oh, I'm not sure if that's going to fit me. I'm not sure if that's going to be the best bet because it might be a little bit too neutral. Some pictures and some swatches made it look a little bit more grey taupe. Some made it look warm brown, like in that reel that Lisa Eldridge put up. But I love that kind of colour, so I wanted to buy that one anyway, and if it didn't turn out to be the right shade for me, then oh well. And then the other shades that I bought were Cressida, which is a shade that is very, very similar to RMS Moonlight or Moon Dust, shade that I loved but didn't like that particular product, so I thought, well, yes, this could be my replacement for that. And then I bought Titania, which I thought, yes, this will probably be the best bet for me. This is a blackened orangey copper shade. And then I bought Daphne, which is a warm golden olive green shade, and I love that shade in eyeshadow. I just think it is gorgeous. It's one of my favourite shades, but quite a difficult shade to find. My battery died, so we might be looking a little bit different. So before I did place that order, I did think, hang on, these are 4 eyeshadows. I'm not really much of an eyeshadow person. I do enjoy one and done, but these are 4 eyeshadows. Is this a little bit too excessive? But they were all different colours, and I'd done a lot of my research, and I did think, well, these are probably the best colours for me. I've got that RMS dupe or RMS similar shade, Anais, which I absolutely wanted to buy, that warm copper shade, Titania, and then the beautiful golden olive green shade that I really enjoy wearing. And I thought, well, I've got a nice kind of like wardrobe of colours to choose from, which should hopefully suit me. And they are marketed as a one and done eyeshadow, really easy to use. Pop it on your lid, blend it out with your finger, you are done. So I thought, yes, this seems like this will work for me. So I bought them, they arrived, and I played with all 4 of them for about 2 weeks. And I had to send them back because they just did not work for me. They look really nothing like the promo pictures. I will put a couple of pictures in that I actually took of my eyes wearing them as well. You don't get that real whack of pigment and saturation of colour like you do in the promotional pictures. They crease badly on me, they transfer, they move, they don't last. These pictures as well, I took about 1 to 2 hours after doing my makeup as well. And I was at home, so it's not like I was going out in the wind, in the rain or whatever. I was doing my makeup here and going into the lounge over there to work. So they just didn't seem to last on my eyes. So I did enlist the help of Google and ChatGPT to find out what to do to make these work. I did them on bare lids, made sure that there was no product on my lids whatsoever. I used a cotton pad to remove any excess product or whatever, so they had a clean base. That didn't work. I used them over the top of the silk eyeshadows. That didn't work. Over the top of a bit of translucent powder, over a bit of the NYX eyeshadow base. That didn't work either. I used my finger, I used a fluffy brush. I didn't wipe, I patted gently. I used a thin layer. Honestly, I tried so many different ways to get these to work and they just could not work on me. And it ended up being really frustrating because yes, I'm not very good at makeup, but I'm good enough that I should be able to make a product like that work, a one and done product. And I just couldn't, and it was very, very frustrating, and I had exhausted all the ways that I could try and make these eyeshadows work, and they didn't look anything like the pictures. They swatched lovely. I did swatch them on my hand and they set and they look beautiful, but they didn't look anything like that on my eyelids. So I decided to send them back. So I've sent them back to Space NK. You can send back opened makeup that you didn't like and you will get that credited back onto your account. So I have sent them back, but I haven't had confirmation yet from Space NK that they've received them. So unfortunately, that has gone back. Once I have had that credited on my account, I will change this cost. So at the moment I've got it down as £131.20, so that will be reduced once I have that credited back on my account, and then I can use it for like skincare, for example. So that was the whole kind of debacle, the whole issue with that order. But I then placed an order the following day for 3 more of her eyeshadows. Now I said this in my makeup inventory video, my previous video, but I have very much been in a rabbit hole of single eyeshadows. I have just been really enjoying looking at and buying single eyeshadows because I do like to have something on my eyes, because if I have nothing on my eyes and a lip, I do sometimes feel like it is a little bit bare. It's nice to have just something on my eyes, but it has to be a one and done because I'm rubbish at eyeshadow. I can't be doing lots of different shades. It has to be something that I can just whack on my eyes and I'm done. So I did then buy 3 of her liquid silk eyeshadows. And again I thought, do I need to buy these? I've just yesterday bought 4 of the liquid lyrics ones. Do I really need 3 more? However, these are matte shades. And that order, because again it was 20% off, those came to £62.40. And I still have these. Here they are. She does 5 in total and they are a selection of sort of nude, neutral, everyday kind of shades, and these are so much better and so much easier to work with in comparison to the lyrics ones. So if I swatch these for you, the first one is Phoebe, which I do have on my eyes today, but I've gone over the top with eyeshadow so you can't really sort of see. But this one is Phoebe, which is described as like a neutral warm beige shade. This is probably the most natural shade on me. Blended out, this is just a bit of a natural wash of colour. This one is Irene, which is a bit more pigmented. It has a bit more kind of brown and sort of pink in that one. And next is Gaia, which is a darker brown shade. So Phoebe at the top, which is described as a warm light camel on her website. Irene is light neutral peachy beige. And Gaia is golden brown. So a nice selection of neutrals there along with her eyeliner, and yes, these are much better and much easier to work with than the liquid lyrics ones. These ones, you draw some onto your eyelid and you can blend it out with either a fluffy brush or your finger, and they blend out a lot easier. You have better pigment with them, and I have no creasing, no transfer. They don't fade. These really do last on me, and I don't feel like I need to go through all of those different types of prep for my eyelids. I feel like I can just whack them on, or I can use them over the top of my NYX eyeshadow base or over a MAC paint pot, which I have bought, but that's a Q4 purchase, so I'm not going to talk too much about that one. They're just so much easier to use, and they're a really nice light wash of colour. You can leave it just at that, you can build it up. I've gone over the top with a new eyeshadow, a powder eyeshadow, so these are easier for layering, and these are what I hoped that the Lurex ones would be like in terms of usability and how easy it is. But unfortunately the Lurex ones just don't seem to be for me. But these ones are so easy. They are beautiful, lovely selection of neutral shades in here. These are great. So those were my purchases for August and September. So in total for Q3, I spent £277.01. But like I say, once I get the amount credited back onto my account for the liquid Lurex, I will take that off this spreadsheet. If I then end up using that money for makeup, I'll then of course add it on, but I will likely end up using that for some skincare. Perhaps I buy my Naturium Vitamin C serum from Space NK, so I'll probably end up using some of that for that. But anyway, Q3, £277.01, which means my total for 2025 at the moment comes to £593.56. That works out on a quarterly basis, if I was to divide that between the 4 quarters of the year, to be £148.39, and then a monthly average of £49.46. So the 2025 total sounds a little bit high, but actually when you break it down on a monthly basis, £49.46, that's pretty much where I want it to be. However, I have bought some more single eyeshadows in October in Q4, so that will go up. I need to rein that in. I need to not buy too many more eyeshadows. But those were the purchases that I have made for Q3. So some hits, the eyeliner, those eyeshadows, some absolute misses, the Lurex ones. If you have those and you have been able to make them work, you really like them, please let me know how you apply them. I won't be buying them again, but I'm just really curious as to how other people have made them work. Likewise, if you have tried any of the other products that I've mentioned in this video, please let me know as well. If you keep track of what you buy, let me know, because I'm a bit nosy like that. I like to know what people buy in terms of makeup. But I hope you liked it. Just a little bit of a heads up, we are moving in about 10 days time, so this might be the last video you see from me for a little while. It might not, I don't know. I don't know how soon I can then start filming again once we do move, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.